Okay, bruh fans. Yeah, I'm talking, bruh. I got a couple videos I need to do. This one is my season 3 finale review. Now, I stopped reviewing after episode 15. I was thinking, oh, okay, there's only 3 episodes or so left. I'll do a finale review at episode 19. But then, turns out the show kept going. There were 22 episodes total this season. Now, just to be blunt here, I'm not doing reviews for episode 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I'm doing my episode 22 review right now. And if you want to know what happens in the other 6 episodes, Regina finds out Bill's been cheating. Claudia tries to make Bill kind of like a gigolo. Basically, hey, I'll give you money and watches and whatnot if you continue this affair. Heck, at one point even seems like she would off Regina if it meant getting with Bill. Their marriage is still on the rocks. Pam, okay, we actually get the Mike stuff, and that was pretty good in terms of the drug storyline. Thing is, it just kind of comes out of nowhere because of the fact that he's been gone for most of the season. But, it's just one of those things where, kind of like the Bros, yeah, we didn't really see it coming because it kind of came out of nowhere. Good storyline, but there's a lot happening from him getting, put on leave from his job to being behind on his bills to running out of money, dealing with a dealer who, according to John, will give drugs to people but charge crazy interest on them. And for Mike to be in a situation where I think his car got repossessed and he has a bunch of eviction notices for his loft, so he is not in a good position. But like I said, I think that's one of the story's detriments, that he's been gone for so long and there haven't been any signs of this, so it kind of feels out of left field. Again, good storyline. Pamela's still there with him throughout the situation, but it gets to a point where he overdoses, and you have John and Pam there, and Greg and Tom show up, and they get the ambulance to come pick him up. They go to the hospital, which leads to, well, kind of a mini story arc that stretches over the last 3 to 4 episodes that unfortunately I feel kind of flops, just like the Regina wedding saga in season 1. But I'll go into more detail when I do my season 3 overview and talk about the things I liked and the things I didn't really like about the season. And one of the big things is this season had no business being 22 episodes. It really didn't. I think the last 3 episodes could have been combined into either 1 or just trimmed down to 2. It's just that when it comes to the finale, what I did like about the hospital is the fact that the Bros were all kind of displaying various stages of the 5, stages of grief in reaction to Mike overdosing. You had Tom and Greg, who were trying to keep it together, being that, they work in the medical field. They've seen addicts before, so they're looking at this through the lens of being completely realistic of, hey, this is the situation. This is how bad Mike is. And if, he doesn't turn it around, it can only get worse from here. Not to mention the fact that, at first, the Tom and Greg are trying to be sensitive to John and Bill, and that, look, be optimistic because we only know so much. Our guys back there, they're capable, but it's not 100% certainty that Mike is going to make it. Then on the other side, you have Bill and John who are reacting different. It's like, Bill just can't believe it, and he's distraught, and he wants to know what's going on every second about Mike. And then John, he's kind of in the same boat. I understand the character is supposed to be comedic, but there's a time and place. So there's a moments where he comes across as, out of pocket for the jokes. It's like when it's like, hey, Tom is saying something serious, but then John overreacts. So it kind of felt like the tone. I feel like that was the biggest hindrance of the hospital episodes, where the tone felt off in places. jokes really didn't land because it's like, I don't think it fit right there. Or the biggest cardinal sin of Tyler Perry scripts is repetitive dialogue. And that is something that the last few episodes really suffer from. Look, it's not uncommon for this to be something that happens in Tyler Perry shows. I've been reviewing these shows for damn near a decade. Of course I know that. But there are times where it's extremely noticeable more than other times. Then also the Lydia stuff, I don't know. Lydia and Alice had no reason to be at the hospital. Like I said, I can't wait to do a season 3 overview because I'm really just going to go in. But they had no reason to be at the hospital. It just really threw off the dynamic of everything. And I just don't like the whole, okay, it's been an entire season and Alice is still sicking Lydia after John. Lydia, John's at the house. Lydia, John's at the hospital. He isn't feeling her like that. And it just, I don't know. It just doesn't, I don't like it. I think Lydia was a kind of like Q on Sisters, a character with potential, but the storyline given to the character did not do them justice. And when it comes down to, okay, I did kind of laugh when Bill, I think he pretended to be, John's partner in an attempt to get Lydia to leave because she just wasn't taking a hint. And she thought it was a threesome. That was pretty funny. But I find it ironic that when John is trying to tell Lydia that he doesn't want her here and she's not getting the hint, Bill was in the background. Oh my gosh. And I'm thinking, Bill, of all people, you are reacting to someone not taking a hint. After all the time the bruhs tried to get your ass in season 1 to realize, Bill, don't go to that wedding. That's not a good idea. No, I'm going to go in there on a white horse and, I'm going to, do this, that, and the third, and I'm going to fight for my love. Bill, if you ruin this woman's wedding, she's going to expect to, be married to you quick, fast, in a hurry. Yeah, I'm ready for that. Bill, I'm ready. And, well, look at him now. And then on the flip side, I did like Bill's reaction. I think Bill was probably my favorite character throughout this hospital arc because it's just one of those things where when grief or tragedy strikes within a family or friend group, everybody's going to react differently. A person who feels like if they can go back in time, they can change things. A person who feels like I should have seen this or this was right in front of me. How come I didn't see this sooner? The other person who's the realist, like, okay, I got to keep it together because we all can't be distraught. Like one of us has to figure out arrangements and this, that, and the third. But it just got to a point where it was just way too repetitive. Like there were moments where I wish somebody would come and just slap or beat the hell out of Bill and John because Tom and Greg are trying to keep things as best together as they can. Look, we don't know everything, but we can tell you what we do know. We can't be back there because we're friends of the patient. Things like this, hospital regulations. And then Bill questioning whether or not Tom gives a damn about Mike because he's not back there operating on him. I didn't like that. Again, I could see where it was coming from, but I just hate when, the characters let their emotions override their better judgment. But in a show like Bruh, where things seem over the top and exaggerated more often than not, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, dial it back a little bit, man. Just dial it back. But probably my favorite thing was when Regina came up to him trying to comfort him at the hospital, but Bill didn't want to hear it. And again, something else I'll talk about in my season 3 overview. Why are these two still married? And Regina out of nowhere saying that she wants to make it work, which to me seems, wait, is she only saying this because, she knows about Bill's infidelity? Now she decides she wants him or something. That's the one thing about the marriage. Well, many things about the marriage I didn't like, but after they got married, and then, in early season, basically post-wedding or, post Justice of Peace, everybody's like, Bill, look, you need to get this thing annulled quick, fast, in a hurry. You just got married a few hours ago. It's a mess. You need to get get it annulled right away. Then I think Tom was the only person who was like, I don't know, man. Why don't you make it work? But then everyone else, and that's the one thing, and that's another thing about bruh. A lot of things happen out of nowhere. Like a character will say, I agree with your decision. But then out of nowhere, hey, I disagree. I think you need to do this. And it makes no sense. So for builds, and I did feel for Regina. This was probably the only time I gave a damn about her this entire season. 22 episodes. And I felt bad for her because she was trying to be there for Bill. And he didn't want it. He didn't, believe her to be, sincere. And to be fair, when you look at her actions and behavior leading back to, from season 2 to now, you can understand why Bill will be skeptical. Also, didn't Tom say you've been married for like months or a month? And I'm like, what the hell? He hasn't even been married 3 days yet. Okay, maybe it's been 3 days, but I've lost track. But it's no way it's been a month. And Tyler Perryisms with the time where it's like, hey, when we're watching the show, okay, the passage of time is clearly 48 hours. And then a character say, hey, it was a week since this happened. I'm like, how the hell was it a week? Gosh. Oh, yeah. Also, I didn't score the episode. I'll give it like a 3 out of 10. Because I did like the Mike stuff. Because it boils down to Tom telling John and Bill that they need to sign the document, hence the title, a signed letter. Since he has no immediate family or anything, we need to get Mike committed because we can discharge him now, but guess what? This is probably going to happen again, and for all we know, it could be worse. I mean, the man died twice. He lost the pulse twice. So if we let him go, nothing's changed. He's probably going back to old habits, and then that will be that. And I think Bill even said, hey, I'd rather him hate us now, but be alive than, dead. So they signed the document. I did like the little running gag of John going like, well, I got to sign it first. He's going to look at me as like, John, why'd you sign first? And then, truth be, hey, later on, Mike just said, oh, John, you signed it first, nigga? It's like, well, they made me sign. Okay, that was probably my favorite John bit of the episode. But then, when Mike is well enough to have people in the room, Pam is first, and, Bill, what was it? Bill, like, bros before hoes, and, well, Pam goes in there, and things go as well as you expect. The first thing she does is snap on him, and, Greg is like, wait, well, no, we can't agitate him or whatnot. Pam doesn't give a damn, and she says she's done, and calls him an asshole for, like, the 70th time this season. So, no love lost between these two. Then, when she comes out of the room, she does what Pam does best. Snap on the men. Get out of here. You know what? F him. You need to stop letting this man talk to you any kind of way. And if we had any sense, we would both leave. And then they go. So, on top of that, the guys go in, tell Mike about the situation. He's not taking it seriously at all. And then they're all, pretty emotional telling Mike, hey, we love you. We give a damn about you. But, tell us why you did what you did. And then there's this thing about, something happening with Mike and his mom from when he was a child, but we don't know what it was. It's kind of something that you would think they would have revealed by now. Oh yeah. Also, I have watched every single episode. I just haven't, done reviews for them. So episode 16 to 21, I did watch them, just so you know. But yeah, we never find out what it was. And I think that would have helped if we would have learned it. That way we could have gotten to the root of it. Maybe in season 4, if we get, scenes of Mike in rehab and whatnot, then we will actually know. But that goes back to what I said before about the whole, okay, this season didn't need to be 22 episodes. We wasted a lot of time with the same repetitive lines, dialogues, and jokes when we could have gotten some more serious moments like this. So Mike doesn't want to go, and he has to be, dragged out of there in a straitjacket, I think. And, well, was he in a straitjacket? I forgot that part. Basically, he gets, taken out of the room, and he's pissed off at the bros. And again, probably another emotional scene that I wanted to highlight when Bill was like, look, y'all Negroes can do what y'all want. Think about me how you want to. But after seeing what I just saw, I'm going to go start my grieving now because I don't think he's going to make it. And again, it goes back to how different people have different reactions to the same situation. I mean, when you look at the situation Mike is in, the fact that he clearly doesn't want to go through with it, Bill, I can see why he would be preparing to grieve, because his friend is probably going to do something reckless. So, things aren't going to be well when he gets home. I can see Regina probably trying to comfort him, but he's not going to want to have it. So, yeah, this is pretty good stuff in terms of the ending, but overall, not the strongest finale. I don't think it was the strongest finale. Not the strongest season either. Season 3 is probably my least favorite. Well, no, it definitely is my least favorite of the show. But that's really all I got to say about the finale itself. And like I said, I can't wait to do the season 3 overview. Boy, do I got a lot to say. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you think of the season 3 finale, A Signed Letter? And with that, oh yeah, also another thing. Yeah, Greg got called out. I was like, you just got here and you don't know this and that and the third. I think Greg, had the right to, get involved in this because, like Tom, he is a doctor. So just because he wasn't there the entire time. I mean, hell, the bros have been there the whole time by Mike's side, but they didn't know he was involved in drugs and whatnot. So Greg, being a friend as well, he has every right to speak up if he wants to. Also, that's another thing about the hospital arc. Like, so I know one person told me, I don't think Greg, he was out of pocket for talking to Bill and John the way he did about Mike. No, he was absolutely right, because Bill and John were, jumping on him like they didn't have any kind of sense that, hey, he's actually trying to help our friend, because that's his friend too. And if you can keep going at somebody, but when they clap back, they clap back. So Greg, yeah, I was actually rooting for Greg, the back half of the season, because I know during the first half, I like, Greg, you doing too much. But during the back half, yeah, I was like, you go, Greg. Okay, I'm done. Catch you in the next video.